to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Cara Delane and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings and Cara Delane.
Welcome everyone to the Fixed Ops Roundtable After Dark, and I'm ready, Ted. I had to pull out the sticks tonight in honor of Earl Sticks Brown.
You know, you and I were having a conversation about one of the next themes, what they might be, and Sticks is with us tonight with a lot of other great featured guests. And that reminds me, because Cara, you suggested maybe a rock and roll event coming up later in the year. What do you think?
I love 80s rock, Ted. So if we did that, I would be all about the big hair and the music and everything. But Sticks would have to join me for a majority of it.
I'll have to practice a drum solo for that one.
I think we should see that. I'm looking forward to that, Sticks. So welcome everybody to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. It is Monday evening and we are live. Is that right, Cara?
Yep, we are live tonight on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube.
And Sean Butler, good evening. Welcome tonight. Thank you so much for all you've done for the last event and continue to do. We have some great guests with us tonight. I want to introduce them, if I may. They are just over to the right of Cara is Erica Mitchell from Dealerware, who's with us tonight. Amber Lee Montgomery from Naked Lime Marketing is with us also tonight. These are all the winners of the Best Practice Awards that you all voted on. Earl Sticks Brown from Radiant Ride is with us tonight, as we know. Earl, good evening. Julie Douglas from Dealer Pay, coming to us fresh from that big panel with Tully and Sean Kingery. And congratulations, Julie. That was an amazing panel. Really loved all that. Tonight, with us for the first time is Ashley Ellis from Brook.ai, Proactive Dealer Solutions.
Hi,
Ashley,
Ted. Hi, everyone.
Thank you for all you do. And of course, the lovely Allison Landis is with us from Inkcentric. Allison, good evening.
Thank you for having me tonight, Ted.
So, Allison, these are all the best practice winners. And Cara, I can't believe this. I can't believe the show is like actually behind us now.
Oh my gosh, I know. I felt like there was so much anticipation leading up to the Dare to Dream event. And now it is behind us already. I can't believe it, but I know we're going to go head first into the next event.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up, everybody. And in fact, you know, before I forget to mention it, we do have an exclusive sponsor for the After Dark show. It is BG Products, Partners Beyond Products. And we are very grateful to them for sponsoring both the podcast, which is going to have its 100th episode 2 weeks from tonight, and the After Dark show. So thank you so much to BG for all that you do for the event. The entire event is also on YouTube now, everybody, so you can be sure to catch it there. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Congratulations to the best practice winners. And yeah, the comments are rolling in. Russell Hill, good evening. And Jerry, I saw you just a little bit earlier, so thank you for all you do as well. Erica, you had an amazing segment. I was not prepped for a lot of that by the folks at Dealerware, but tell us a little bit about some of the things that you discussed in that segment that we did. I believe it was on day 2, Wednesday last week.
It was. Yeah, I kind of went a little bit in a different direction. We worked together as a team to come up with this idea, and what we did was kind of come up with talking about a possibility at first. So with my vision, I lost my vision when I was 17 to an eye condition called Stargardt's. And so we took the opportunity to kind of talk about that a little bit and then move into how we, you know, how important it is to choose the right technology for your dealership. So we kind of talked about a combination of things during my presentation.
Wow. And you recently also posted an article on LinkedIn, and I want to share that with the group as well. Tell us a little bit about that as well, because I think that kind of led to the presentation that you did last week.
Yeah, you know, I got really motivated to finally share my story because I've been living with this for my entire adult life. And so I titled it "I Lost My Sight, Not My Vision," because really I've fought to be successful in my career, to push through the challenge that I have. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are not really recognized for all the hard work that they do. And so I'm hoping this really builds awareness around the topic, not just for vision, but for any type of challenge that people might be faced with. So I wanted to throw it out there and hopefully inspire other people.
And we've talked about a lot of things at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Amberly, as an example, when Go Moto was on recently, we talked about the Spanish-speaking function. I think we're going to be talking about that in a future episode as well. But we have not talked a whole lot about people with, and forgive me for using the word disabilities, okay? But, people who work in the service department and guests as well, Erica. And I think that really resonated with the audience. I know it did with me, and it was very moving. And you talked about diversity and equity and inclusion, but this is really part of that conversation as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing, disability is a fine word to use. I call it a vision or a invisible disability, because when you look at me at first glance, you can't really tell there's any ailment whatsoever. And there's so many people out there faced with, whether it be hearing or audible issues or any kind of like ADHD would be another great example. So just because you don't see it on the surface doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So making sure to build awareness and hopefully help people moving forward.
Yeah. So Julie Douglas, I was really taken by that segment. I know I've interacted with DealerWare at the dealership when I come in and get a service loaner, because they make everything convenient. And rather than the old process of doing it, Julie, by paper, they've made it modern and put it on an iPad, and it's all done out of the vehicle, and it's very seamless, and everything is emailed to me and I authorize it. And it's a pretty clever way they've gone about it. And they're into a lot of dealerships. And Julie, you did a panel at this last event, and we talked about modern payment acceptance with Sean Kingery, who I see is on tonight. Lori Tennant, good evening. How exciting as well. Lori Tennant from DealerWare is with us tonight. She was at our very first Fixed Ops Roundtable, going back a ways. And so, Julie, you did that panel with Sean and Tully, and was Ed on that panel as well? I think he was.
Yes. It was a ton of fun. I giggled a lot, but it was really a lot of fun to have everyone with me. And we talked about great topics, and even with the topic of unmasking cancer. One of the things I remember Eric had mentioned in her panel is about the ability to round up for charity. What I wanted to say is we actually have that ability to give dealers the ability to round up in our point of sale software. So that is something that is part of my modern payments featurette. And I think that, having that option in the dealer space is just as important as having it at the grocery store. So.
And, when you think about what DealerWare does with Erica and Dealer Pay with Julie, that is one of the last things that customers will remember. All right. And a lot of the survey may be graded on that as well. The experience with the loaner car. And in your case, Julie, the customer, when they pay for their service, and up until now, that has not had a lot of conversation around it. But when you came to the Fixed Ops Roundtable, I believe it was in May, you really lit up the conversation, because we had never discussed a customer and how they pay for their bill. And now with all the mobile options that are going on out there and consumers being able to pay for everything else on their phone, you're really bringing us into the modern age.
Yes, sir. I think it's a great opportunity for dealers to really capture their audience and retain that business by providing them options. And the payments industry's evolved quite a bit, and there's options for dealers to, even increase their own profits and revenue through some of those. So I'm really happy to do what I do. I'm passionate about the industry, and I see more and more dealers just looking for other alternatives from their traditional payment acceptance. So it's very exciting.
Samantha Foster from UVI, good evening. I see you in the chat tonight. So look at all these conversations, Kara, that are coming up on Fixed Ops that I never could have imagined these, even just three and a half years ago, and stuff we're talking about today.
I know. We have definitely come a long ways from even when I first got involved. I can't imagine what the future holds for the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Yeah, a lot of great stuff. So, Eric and Julie, thank you so much. Very moving segments, both of you. Want to talk a little bit with Amberly tonight because you talked about those high dollar ROs. And I remember Lisa Copeland, when she was on the roundtable a while back, said the fortune is in the follow up. And that stuck with me, Amberly. And the fact that as human beings, we just don't like, most of us don't like to follow up, right? It's a pain to have to do. We get busy, we shortcut it. And you talked about some ways that, dealers can really automate that with the data at their dealership. Um, Take us through a little bit of that. Refresh us as some of the things you talked about.
Yeah, my session focused on filling your service drive with those high dollar quality ROs. Because all of our time is valuable. We're leading into the holidays. We're trying to make the most of our time and make the most of what we're doing. And the service drive is no different. There's shorter hours to work. They need to make the most of what they're doing every day. They need to make traction on some of those recommended services that they've had over the last couple quarters. So to save your techs and to save your marketing team's time, being able to leverage that clean first party data, that's a big buzzword right now in our industry, and making sure that you're using that first party data and running it through marketing systems that can send automated follow-ups for not just decline services, but anything that you're marketing for. And when you marry that with data and a really relevant message, it allows you to get in front of a customer that really needs that service at that time. So it could increase your retention rates. And again, to your point, Ted, take the burden of the follow-up off of a human being when technology can do it just the same, and the relevant messaging and the offer is most important there, not whether or not you have a person pushing the buttons at the end.
And I learned that word relevance last week, Amberly, that it's so important. And rather than just, push one message out, a generic message, and hope it sticks, you're really all about making that message relevant to the person and like, oh, that is something I'm interested in. And you really have tremendous expertise in doing that with the data.
Absolutely. Yeah, the data tells us a lot. When you take first party data that your dealership owns and marry it with that demographic data, it can be really powerful. Each message is tailored to the person receiving it just by using some triggers. And then all of it, at least on our side, is accessible. It's so nice to be here with some of these ladies that are making strides with accessibility, charity, and community. I want to commend you all. This has been really enlightening for me as well. But accessibility is also really important in all marketing that we do as well.
Yeah. And, I was worried, even a year or two ago, that there wouldn't be enough to talk about at a Fixed Ops Roundtable sticks. Like, we're going to run out of topics, right? We're going to talk about these things and, maybe they won't be relevant anymore. But it seems that the deeper we go with this, sticks, we're doing a 4-day event in January. The next one is the Wild Wild West. And you had an amazing panel. You brought on the Central Valley Automotive Group. You had a whole bunch of retail people. You had the vice president. It was a very, very moving panel. And talk to us a little bit about that and why you chose them and how that all came about, Six.
Thanks, Ted. First of all, I want to congratulate the guest on the show tonight. I'm in great company. Ted, you are absolutely right. The content, the speakers, just the overwhelming amount of information, education, and latest trends going on in automotive is just awesome information for the industry. And I'm very honored to be a part of it. Our latest panel for Dare to Dream just kind of was a tip of the iceberg of the information that's coming on the horizon. But we had a great panel showcasing a dealership group in Modesto, California that is making a really unique service experience become a reality. The idea of bringing cosmetic repairs and routine maintenance during the same service visit seems to be gaining traction. In a recent survey we did to confirm what we're doing in the marketplace, 89% of car owners indicated they would have cosmetic repairs done at a dealership during routine maintenance if the service was available. So we've been working collaboratively with a number of dealerships in Northern California to execute this service experience, and it's resonating a lot with car buyers. They love the convenience. Dealers like the retention, and we feel that this model is going to catch fire. And we have a business model that's proven. Proof of concept is established, and we can't wait to share it around the country.
You know, he's being modest. Proof of concept. He's been in this group for 10 years, right? I think the proof of concept is there, Earl. And you've really got
we evolve.
You got a strong base in California. Allison, I'm thinking about that big dealer group in Los Angeles that might be a low-hanging fruit for Earl as well. By the way, Allison has been with the Roundtable since the early days, like Dealerware, and she did our very first step and repeat board. She did our very first banners, our very first printed programs, and she came to us through, Earl, a company called Galpin Ford. I don't know if you've heard of Galpin.
Yes, I have.
Galpin recommended her because we were trying to get Bo Bachman to speak, which we did. And he said, you know, we've been dealing with this company for about 20 some years, and recommended us to Allison Landis. And her company, Inkcentric, does everything for Galpin. And in fact, Allison, you showed us that latest calendar that you had as well that came out last week, which I was, okay, I'm looking for it too. But that was very, very impressive that you've done that as well.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you for having me. Congratulations to all the winners. I'll start with as well. You guys will be receiving one of these amazing awards that we've been doing over the years. And yes, indeed, Galpin was actually a cold call for me over 23 years ago. It was the right time, the right place, huge advocate of those types of calls and marketing. I still do them to this day. But yes, we are here to do whatever we can. And Ted, thank you for having us along on this ride, all the way back to Vegas, which was such a great event that we got in right before the pandemic. This has just been fantastic. And your events just keep getting better and better every time.
Allison, I know when you say cold call, Julie Douglas's ears perked up, because that's like music to Julie's ears, right? Her tagline is the sales lady extraordinaire. And Julie, how about that? A cold call and picking up Galpin, and that's 20 some years ago.
Yes, I still do it every day. It's
Right?
it's part of the job. You still have to make that uncomfortable initial phone call to see if you can generate interest and see where it gets you.
My favorite part, Julie, is when I tell the story, not to age myself, but Google did not exist when I first started in this business. So, I mean, it was really a spiel on a piece of paper and picking up that phone. Now, thankfully, we can do a little research prior to the call, right? Maybe a warm call instead of cold, but it's still right the way to go. And I love that you still do it.
Yes, I mean, you almost have to you used to have to print out that map to get to your appointment and make sure that they still agreed to meet with you when you got there.
Remember the Thomas guide that we would flip through the pages, the graph, and you would go to the right? Yes. Definitely.
So anyway, Earl, she's got a great relationship with Galpin, and anyway, my wheels are just spinning on that one. Okay, but speaking of the phones, at the last two Fixed Ops Roundtables, the number one topic has been the telephones. And I'm not talking about something scientific. I mean, like answering the phone. So Ashley from Brook.ai, which is Proactive Dealer Solutions. Ashley, take us back, because you wanted to come onto the Fixed Ops Roundtable like a year and a half ago, right? When we were doing one-day events. And do you remember the phone call I had with you that I felt so bad about that phone call? Do you remember what I said?
Go away.
We had no room. We were full. We had no room, and we were doing one-day events.
Yep. And that was right as we were getting ready to launch, or right in the middle of launching Brook.ai. So that was June of
21.
Whatever year it was. 21. Yep. So here we are a year and a half later, and Brook is in over 230 dealerships and just making moves.
I was talking to a dealer today, and they have Brook.ai in their dealership, and he was saying, Ted, and I didn't even know he had Brook AI. He called me about something else. And I said, what are some of the big topics? And he went right to the phones and the fact that you're handling the phones for them. And he said,
Yeah.
Ted, you won't believe it. Our customers don't even know that it's AI answering the phone. And she has a name. He was taking me through the whole thing. And he's here in the Northeast. And he was saying that he can't believe how successful it's been and how you pick up the phone like on the first ring and take it from there.
Yep. Yeah.
Ashley,
We're
that's
actually
amazing.
on that topic. We're getting ready to put together a blooper reel of the number of customers who thank Brooke and compliment Brooke and tell her how sweet she is and how helpful she is. And tell them we have calls of customers telling Brooke their life stories. You know, me and my husband are going out of town. I mean, it's amazing. I never thought right at the beginning of COVID when we started talking about this thing that she would become as big as she is.
Do you know this fella in the chat, Ron Overs?
Yeah. I know Ron a little bit. Hi, Ron.
Ron is the publisher, everybody, of Fixed Ops Magazine. Good evening, Ron. And you're a big part of everything that we're doing here as well. And we work hand in hand with you. But everybody, the secret recipe here is that Ashley is kind of behind the scenes at Brook.ai. And she puts a lot of the segments together. And she does a very good job with that. And one of the segments that she wanted to have, which we put together, was Brian Pash at this event. And Brian came on and we talked about a study. I don't know if you want to share some of that Brian has done over quite a bit of time about how, we're more and more receptive now to having AI answer our phones.
Yeah. So we approached Brian, I approached Brian at NADA last year because he does his AWA awards there. And I approached him because we wanted to have a third-party study done where we have all kinds of data that we can say that Brooke books X number of appointments and makes dealers so much money and everything. But sometimes it's just so much more powerful to have it come from an authority, really, like Brian. So I didn't even know if it was something that they did. We met in the hallway. I gave him a hug and then I said, oh my God, I have an idea. And he said he had a research team and he would start them working on it. And his team, they not only interviewed our customers, they interviewed customers that were using other products that are similar to Brooke and newer into the automotive space. They went and gathered data from Xtime and Cox Automotive. So it's a very powerful research project when it's not just Proactive Dealer Solutions saying, hey, our stuff works. It's so much more powerful when it's coming from people that are in the field, that are using it, and that are willing to speak openly to someone like Brian Pash's research team about the facts, really. I mean, that dealers still deal with a lot of issues in regards to getting the phones answered, but even also when they start to get the phones answered, having their technology set up in a way that makes Brooke successful. Just like dealing with the BDCs, if the BDCs don't have the access to the scheduling tool and access to real-time data, they're no more successful than if, my 13-year-old was answering the phone. So that was a big topic of conversation, is how to prepare dealerships and the pitfalls that some have faced. I mean, so that research paper should be out. I think it's out.
And I see Sean Kingery.
I haven't hit
Sean
the button.
Kingery is in the chat tonight. Sean up in Wisconsin with his dealer group, and I know Sean was initially, maybe a year ago, like not quite sure whether AI could answer the phones, but pretty amazing the stuff that you've done.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing everybody that's on with us tonight. And good evening, Robert Sebastian. And as I mentioned, Kara, this is probably the first time it's been all companies here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, talking about things that they do, but not in a way to be salesy or marketing, but really how they help address pain points at the dealership, Kara. And in fact, Kara, you were on a panel that had to do with the phones as well.
Yeah, I mean, and I see it firsthand here in our dealerships of what it's like when our staff doesn't handle the phones correctly. So, we only have so much time in the day. People get busy. Are they excuses, or can we just come up with a solution to better serve our customers? And I think that's what it comes down to.
Wow. Amber, let me come back to you. What do you see on the horizon? In terms of new best practices or new technology, or it doesn't have to be necessarily in the follow-up arena, but we didn't actually equate fixed ops and marketing together for a long time. It was all front end associated, right? And now we see all these dollars and potential dollars, coming on the service and parts side. And for a lot of dealers, that's new. They spent all their money on the front end. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, it was really during the pandemic that service marketing kind of hit its stride. And that's when we looked inward and we really put some time and effort into our service marketing strategies. And the automation behind what you can do, the service business, there's a lot more service business out there to be had, meaning there's a lot more of that data that I talked about. So there's a lot of other places that you can automate a follow-up or target customers when they're ready for service. You can do it through email. You can do it through social media marketing. You can do it when they're searching. You can do it through YouTube. So anywhere anyone's watching us right now, if you're in the market for service, you could be getting an ad. And so I really think it's, again, making sure that not only are we leveraging all the data that we have, but that data is clean, including being able to get new email addresses, get new home addresses, look at who transferred that vehicle, VIN title transfer. So I really think it's about that clean data and then using it on all the platforms that you have at your disposal that your consumers can be on. And I think we've just scratched the surface for that for fixed ops.
You may not be aware, but Kara at her dealership does a boot camp every 3 months. It's about 3 days long for other dealers to come in and learn about some of the things that you're doing on social media.
Yeah. Through the pandemic and stuff, we saw an opportunity there. Our dealerships and my team here at Henson Brand has kind of been on the forefront of that before the pandemic happened. And, we saw a need for that. People actually started asking us if we would come train them. And so we finally, put it all together and decided, why not help our corporate company and then some outside dealers as well. I don't think that there's any contest there. We're just helping each other grow and making our industry better.
And for those who don't know, who is your corporate company, Kara?
I work for Foundation Automotive. So we've got in the upper 30s, I think now, dealerships across the US and a few in Canada as well. So we've helped majority of them so far. And then, like I said, some outside dealers as well.
So who would have thought about that? A social media boot camp, right? For dealers to teach or for a dealer group to teach other dealers how to do it right. And I don't think it's a stretch, Kara, that your dealership is number one, maybe in the world in social media. Give us some of the numbers, because I know Eric is always posting on it and bragging on it. So this is your chance as well.
Yeah. Here, just on our Facebook page, under our dealership Facebook page, we have about nearly 170,000 followers. We post about 700 times per month just on that one page. I also have my own page. Some other employees have their own pages. We have TikTok, Instagram. So we're all over the place. But our goal is always to try to beat those big companies like CarMax, AutoNation, companies like that as far as engagement. And theirs is all paid. You can look it up through the analytics that Facebook provides you. And, they may only have 3 posts per month and their engagement is 1.2 million. And so we take a lot of pride in doing almost all organic to get, close to those numbers every single month. And obviously it goes through ebbs and flows, but we're coming after those big companies and we're going to do it in an organic way. And that's what we're proud of.
But that, Amberly, that's not the most interesting part.
That's okay.
Kara, share with us Madisonville, Texas, the population and where you're located.
Yeah, so the 3 dealerships I work for right now, we're in Madisonville, Texas, which is on I-45 in between Dallas and Houston. And our population here is just over 4,000 people. So I drive an hour to get here. It's out in the middle of nowhere. I did not know it existed before I got here. And so, our target audience is the nation. And that's how it's always going to be. If we want to make these dealerships profitable, we have to go out of state. We deliver for free. We have a whole marketing message that is across the U.S.
So, Julie, during the pandemic is when I guess they got started in a big way. They were open when the dealerships were closed, and they were shipping these cars all over the country and people paying for them all over the country. And Kara, that was kind of novel at the time.
And I think that's when we got even more attention from other dealer groups and stuff, was because we're in Texas, so we did not shut down as much as states up north did. And then we're getting messages from consumers saying, hey, the dealership nearby me is closed down, but I remembered seeing you on Facebook or TikTok or whatever it may be, that you said you deliver for free nationwide. Is that true? Because I can't get a car in my state. And, I would send a video of us, bombing the car to make sure it was germ free, shipping it to New York, if that's where they are. And we were able to serve a lot of customers, and it really helped our branding. And we took care of a lot of people throughout the pandemic. Luckily, we were able to.
Kara, can I sign up for the boot camp?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Actually,
Wow.
On the
Sticks,
next
we've had people on the roundtable go to the boot camp. Yes.
I'd have signed up a digital dealer when I saw you.
Yeah. I don't know the date on the next one yet, but it will be sometime early next week. So
that is awesome.
I will give you all the information once we have some dates set in stone.
That's amazing.
And by the way, Earl, it really is a boot camp. They really put you through it. And Kara makes all the students make their own videos, with a green screen, and she encourages them and she posts them. It's quite something to watch. So I've enjoyed that. So
amazing.
So amazing stuff. Well, everybody, I want to thank you so much, not only for being best practice winners on the roundtable last week, but for all the things that your companies have done. All of your companies have been very charitable to the Dare to Dream, and I thank you for doing that. Donations are actually still coming in. We still have an auction coming up that's going to be a part of that as well. That's going to happen over the Thanksgiving Day weekend. So I thank you for all that you've done. It's a great cause, and we couldn't have done it without you. So, and a lot more to come. We're going to have our 19th event coming up in January, Kara. That'll be the Wild West. Give us the dates on that.
23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. Our first ever 4-day virtual event will be happening this coming January. So I'm super excited for the Wild West theme. And hopefully everybody will get on board with that and rock some cowboy hats, some Western wear. I think it's going to be fun, Ted.
Well, I'm looking forward to that, Kara. That's going to be great. And Allison, I think there's a lot of stuff that we can do with that. We do a lot of unconventional things here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, but I think our industry is ready for that and poised for that. I think everybody here on this panel does unconventional things, and that's really what resonates and gets folks' attention as well. If for some reason you missed the roundtable last week, everybody, I would be remiss to tell you that, or not to tell you that it's on our YouTube page. You can go there right now as well. And that YouTube page, you can subscribe there, get notified on all the videos as they come. And that was last week's event. We had a lot of fun putting that together. We got the Wild West coming up here in January. And Allison, what did I leave out?
I don't think much. I mean, you've nailed it all. You really have. This has been great.
So Allison Landis from Incentric sending out the awards. I want to thank Erica Mitchell from Dealerware. I see Lori Tennant's been in the chat tonight. I want to thank Grace from Dealerware. Amazing company. Erica, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Enjoy, have a safe holiday. And I look forward to continuing this discussion that we talked about, because I think that's just the tip of the iceberg, as you know, and I think there'll be a lot of discussion on that as well.
Yeah, thank you. I'm honored and humbled.
Yeah, super stuff. Julie, keep up the great work. I got to tell you this, everybody. Julie is always the first one. After the roundtable, hey, send me the videos. Send me and I'm just trying to get everything over to Julie first, right, as quick as I can. But thank you for your follow up, Julie. And
thank you, Ted. I appreciate everything. It's great.
Great work. So a lot of fun in the fixed ops community. Sticks, looking forward to it, and great stuff ahead. So. Thinking about that rock and roll.
Happy Thanksgiving to you, Kara and Ted, and all the panelists.
Happy Thanksgiving to Sticks. Thank you. Amberly, first time on the roundtable. Thank you and your team there for all that you do.
Ted, it was an honor to be here with all of you today. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Brook.ai, Ashley Ellis. It's just the beginning. A lot of stuff to come.
Yes, thank you for all you do, Ted.
Super. And I hear Duke there in the background a couple times tonight. So does he want to come on camera?
Sorry. I think he's gone to take a nap now. He's had a busy day.
Go figure.
I'm sorry.
Ted, it looks like everybody's voting in the chat for the 80s theme. It seemed that really stuck for one of the events coming up.
I'm ready.
Me too.
All right. I'm guessing that's the next one then, Allison, right?
All right. Let's do it.
So Kara, we can do the big hair thing.
Hair, yes, we got this.
Oh, love that. More wigs to come.
I'll have to pull up my afro wig.
There you go.
My disco wig.
I'm ready.
All right. You have no idea, Allison, what's coming.
That's like, don't encourage her.
Ted looks terrified.
Leg warmers and leotards, right? We've got them.
Boy.
That's like, no.
I'll have to find my tie-dyed T-shirt.
Oh boy.
There we go.
Yeah. I think it's going to stick. It's going to resonate. So everybody, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And Kara and I will be here live on Wednesday night with a Give Thanks episode live on Wednesday at 8 p.m. So please join us then if you can. And if not, have a very safe and blessed Thanksgiving. And Kara, thank you as well.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you for everyone on the screen right now. And congratulations to everyone. We will see you guys on a Wednesday at 8 p.m. And then we'll see you in January at the Wild West.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.